all right. We are back with the Diva Show. Listen, we are having just as much fun on the air as we are off the air, okay? And I feel blessed and I'm thankful to be in the company of real people. And I'm just going to say real people that keep it real. Um, Again, I'm going to do an introduction. We have Yvette Murphy, who has the radio show and organization and support group Hands Off. Make sure that you tune into her show. It's every Tuesday from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Store Radio. We also have Tanea Temple, and the name of your show is Tanea
Talking with Tanae.
Talking with Tanea. I always get it mixed up. So it's Talking with Tanea, not Tanea Speaks. It's Talking with Tanea, and her show comes on every second and fourth Monday, and her show goes from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. She has a multitude of different topics that she talks about, and Yvette also has her walk coming up for Hands Off, which is August the 31st. And you can go onto eventbrite.com to register for that so that you make sure that you're out there walking for our youth. And even if you are a survivor, even if you're going through something right now, feel free to come out, feel free to reach out. What we can't help you with, we'll pull some resources so that we can get you help. We also have Omar Ortiz, writer and director and producer, and he has his play production. I'm going to let him say it because I love the way that he says it. In the name of your production,
A Christian scandalous affair.
so he's going to be working on that, and we should be looking forward to having that in October. I may be a part of that production, so definitely stay tuned for that. So I know I've been saying I had a major announcement. I said it earlier last week, and I finally got the okay today. So the announcement that I have for DEU is in the month of August, every Saturday at 2 p.m., you will be able to view on Comcast and Verizon uh, the film stage production of Witness. So those of you that missed,
Congratulations.
thank you. Those of you that missed Witness October the 20th, those which was last year, those of you that missed it May 4th this year, you have an opportunity to watch it on Comcast channel 66, Verizon channel 22, every Saturday in August at 2 p.m. Now, listen, I already know everybody's traveling. Y'all going on vacations, y'all doing family things, family reunions popping off, so forth and so on. However, that is no excuse. Y'all got demand and y'all got them DVRs, so get it popping so that you can check it out. And one of the other reasons why I'm telling you to make sure that you see it because it's actually the prelude to the film Witness, the actual full feature film that I'm going to have auditions for in August. So that'll give you an honest taste of what the film Witness is going to be like. So again, the film stage production of Witness will be on Comcast and Verizon, Comcast channel 66, Verizon channel 22, every Saturday in August at 2 p.m. So make sure that you check it out. Of course, I'm going to be posting on my page so that y'all can check it out. Like all of our pages, Diva Entertainment Unlimited Productions LLC on Facebook, DEU underscore Productions underscore LLC on Instagram, and of course, Diva Gore in my page, DEEVA. Understanding that DEEVA stands for someone who has overcome obstacles. I don't put myself on a pedestal, so just make sure that you understand and recognize the difference. So we're going to be going back and we're going to be talking about this topic and understanding we talk about relationships often. And, you know, as Omar was saying on break, that we can go on and on and on about relationships, men and women relationships, um, as far as whose, you know, role is it. But let's talk about something a little different when it comes to relationships. And some of it still may go back to man and woman relationship. And I'm not being discriminatory. I'll say woman and woman. I'll say man and man. I accept all. Whatever you want to do behind closed doors is none of my business. And I have no room to judge. I'm not God. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm being discriminatory. But one of the things that we talk about um, in relationships, especially business relationships, how people want more, how people want something of you that a lot of times they're not willing to give up themselves.
Right.
Um, I mean, I've been in situations where um, we talked about this off air too. people look at what you present on social media and they assume what you're able to offer them and what you can do for them. They look at you as what you can do for them and not recognize that you have a struggle and a build yourself. Um, I try to give as much information to people as possible, try to give as much time as I possibly can to people. I tell people all the time, research and invest in your craft. Take the time. You can Google anything these days and go online.
Yes.
But understand this, and don't take this the wrong way, people, but just like I announced that, the stage film production is going to be on television. Do
It
you-
took work.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, do y'all
Yeah.
understand that that was not something that I just woke up and they said, hey, we're going to put this on TV?
Exactly.
No, there's a lot of people that were instrumental in getting that done. And I have to say, shout out to Ty Birch. You are absolutely phenomenal, wonderful. Pastor Birch, I truly appreciate you. He's a filmographer, cinematographer, and editor also. And we worked hours and hours working on getting everything necessary and ready for this film to be produced so that it can be put out there. But just saying that to say, in the interim of working on that, working on other things, and then people expect you to put their stuff up there like you did yours. And it's difficult.
Right.
It's difficult. And I'm not speaking on different, I'm definitely not speaking on any writing projects that I've been a part of or production company that I've been a part of. So I don't want anyone to take offense. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that reach out and just want you to make that same exact connection that they have without them doing the actual work. Um, Everybody that I have worked with are diehard filmmakers. Shout out to Sador, they're doing Intertwine right now. They have a team of writers that are doing an absolute phenomenal job and working on Intertwine, which is going to be put out there. Um, and quite a few other projects that are going on behind the scenes. And I know you are working hard on your production. So I'm speaking on those that basically want a piece of the pie, but don't want to go out and buy the ingredients. Like for instance, your support group that you have going on right now.
Yes.
People that want more from you. They want to come and they want to put on the T-shirt, but they didn't put any drive or anything into helping you get that T-shirt made, right?
And I tell people all the time when I would talk to people, when I first started, they would be like, "Oh no, this would never happen." Like nonprofit, absolutely not. Yvette, you just thinking of things. It's going to take a while. And I did it, and I did it. With I think they motivated me because I kept hearing people say it can't be done. It won't be accepted by people. Society don't want to hear about child molestation. So it just pushed me to go harder. But it's a journey. It's still a journey. I tell people all the time, this was just something that I sat down and spoke with my daughter on how we were treated going through this. Still today dealing with me just admitting that I was also a victim. So I pushed that aside. I was, dealing with my daughter and the judicial system and starting hands also. It was a lot. And it's still a lot.
Listen,
But people don't understand that when I say support, people sometimes say, well, Yvette, just because I can't make an event, don't get upset. When I say support, it doesn't mean just actually showing up. It's that phone call. It's just sometimes to say, I see what you're doing. It any way I can help, can I help?
and then not only that,
Just
there's other ways of supporting
Yes.
also in a roundabout way. For instance, if they come across a situation that they feel as though could benefit or help your organization,
Exactly.
they can push it your way, child that's in need, and
Right.
they can contact you. So it's a lot of different ways of supporting people
Yes.
along their journey that a lot of people don't take account in. And we were talking
Right.
about when they see things on Facebook, they feel as though it's something that's already together, something that they just want a part of, without understanding the background. Um,
You know what? We learned about this when we were all kids. I made a video about this, okay? That's one of the first lessons we learned in life, but we didn't pay attention to it. Do y'all remember the book, The Mother Hen, the Little Hen, when she was making the bread?
Yes.
And nobody wanted to help her. She asked everybody, "Oh, I'm making this bread. I want you to help me." Nobody wanted to help her. At the end, she made her bread. Everybody wanted a piece of the pie. And that's what we really experienced in adulthood. But we never paid attention to that lesson. But that's the lesson that we learned as children.
Yeah.
yeah, and if you don't respond, then you're the bad person.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Not knowing you're up for nights.
many
Many nights.
many
36
know.
hours a day.
the meetings that you
The
have,
meetings, exactly.
the like
The
I did-
financial stress.
Oh
of
my God, I was
keeping
getting ready to go
things
there. I was getting
going.
ready to go there. There have been people that have reached out to me for financial assistance, and the thing is, they don't realize that everything that I do, my kids know.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, my kids know everything that I do comes out of Diva's pocket.
Right.
Right.
I have had a very good friend. Shout out to Yolanda Johnson Young, Finding Elijah. She's a filmmaker as well, and she's up for an award in the Black Star Film Festival. Please support her. And she was on my show as well, and she did a film which was actually based on her son,
Mm-hmm.
Finding Elijah. Basically, unfortunately, he took his life, and unfortunately, the laws in the United States kind of like prevents you from receiving any information pertaining to anyone medically that is of age above 18. And she is working hard. Her part of her film was to put it out there to deliver the message that we need to change some of those laws, because if part of those laws were not in place the way that they are, she would have been able to locate her son before he took his life. So that's part of her journey with her film. And what she had shared with me is the Leeway Foundation, where you can get funds and all. But because I'm in this meeting, I'm in that meeting, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to make things happen, I actually have not had the time to sit down and to do it. So there are people that are in my corner that are trying to get me funds. She was like, "You can get money over here." I posted on my page, "You can get money over here to do your film, and you can get money over there to do your film." But I just let y'all know, everybody that's a part of the DEU team, they know, like, I'll just come out of my pocket and just do what's necessary. So what you see on Facebook, all of the posts every morning, I take 2 hours to post marketing, promoting. I don't have nobody sitting there doing that. You understand what I'm saying? So when someone comes along and was like, "Well, can you do this for me?" I may not be able to do it for you, but I can show you
how to do
how
it.
to do it.
Right.
But how many people are willing to actually sit down and put in
And
the
learn.
work?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everybody wanted. Didn't Kevin Hart say that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to be famous,
Yep.
but don't nobody want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just want to say to y'all, that was one of the major announcements that I had, and what we were just talking about, how people want more. People want more from you that they're not ready to commit to, and it takes a strong commitment I'm going to say this morning, Mark 5 from Sador radio show, he did a live this morning, and one of the things that he was talking about is people wasting time. People wasting your time. I'm not going to go into the negative part of it because we could talk about that all day.
Right.
But what I want to say to everyone out there, if you want something bad enough, you will do what is necessary to get it. Just like you stand in line for a pair of $200 sneakers that you're just going to walk on the ground in. Why not take that money and that time to invest it in yourself, to what you want to commit to and develop? And it's a hard road. You also have another business that we ain't even touch on that yet.
Yes. That's the 2 a.m. part of me.
That's the 2 a.m. But we're gonna talk about it right now because we got listeners and they need to know that that's something else
You
that
get to
you
bed
have.
before you close your show. They won't
We
Oh,
will.
I
We ain't forget about you.
No,
We'll see you
I'm
over
gonna
there.
get to you before the show ends, definitely. And your
I'll tell you
business,
the area.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah, thank you.
your business.
So my business is Tanea's Toy Treasures, and it is adult sex toy company. Not to be thinking that it's like nasty, because sometimes when people hear sex, they think vulgar, they think nasty. I have classy, very classy um, parties. Actually, you book me as if you would book anybody. I come into your home and I do a party. It's educational. I also have a best friend. My best friend, she's a real educator on sex. Her name is Nakia Outland, and she does a lot of HIV and AIDS prevention. So sometimes me and her will partner up, and I tell them she's the educational part of it. I'm the fun part of sex. So it is a real nice time. It's fun. You get to learn a little bit. I don't overstep my bounds. I don't make it seem like I'm a sex educator because I'm not. I'm the fun part of sex. It's fun. So I've actually been in business for over 15 years, maybe 16 to 17 now. So I was like 20 something when I started my business, and it's been profitable. Bought my house off of it, and booked me.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. Her first, how many people did you have at your first party?
At my first party,
Your very first party.
listen. First of all, my very first party, I was nervous because I used to work for somebody, and that's how I actually got started. And she helped me start my own business because she was like getting out of it, so she helped me. My very first party, it might have been about 15 people, but I was scared when I walked in the door because when I found out who the person was who booked me, it was one of my cousins' kids' mom. And I'm like, damn, I know her. Now I'm really gonna be scared. Like, but it was fine. It was fine. And I got more parties from it. Like I'm very professional. I'm not one of those people who you like, oh God, this person has a business. I'm very professional. If somebody feel like they're not whole at the end of whatever, I try to make them whole. Like I try to compensate and do whatever I can to make people happy with my business. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Every time it's not always the business owner. Sometimes it's the customer. And I'm gonna be honest and say that because sometimes it could be bad customers, and I don't do bad business. So if I find a bad customer, I'll say no, thank you.
Right.
I know
Refer
that's
you to
right.
somebody else.
And the only reason I pointed out asking you how many people was at your first party,
Mhm.
because I'm gonna tell y'all, my first audition I had 3 people.
Oh, really?
I had 3 people show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now things are different. And
Right.
that's all I'm gonna say. Things are
Mhm.
different. So it takes hard work
Yes.
and dedication
Mhm.
when you are an entrepreneur and doing a business. So tell us about your upcoming productions.
Well, first of all, Deeva, I just like to say I'm very proud of you. I'm watching you from afar, and the first time I really met you was when you were in my play. I say, Saved by Grace, co-starring
Yes,
as love interest
yes.
in the play, and I, seeing you do different things, I'm really amazed and really, I guess I'm really proud of you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's why I want you to drop some knowledge on me. Because hey, I need somebody to tell me something about this entertainment thing myself. But anyway, basically, Christian Scandalous Affair is kind of a play on words because basically the main character, Christian Bishop, he's the main character in the play, and he's going through a relationship problem with his wife. And basically, his problem, he's been a very successful businessman for years. His wife always wanted him to be more than what he was, and more towards business, not far as him being a husband and being a father.
Okay.
So basically, we're at the place where it's taking place, where his wife is wanting him to do A, B, and C, and she gave him an ultimatum where you better have done this, that, and the third. Even though you made millions, you should have done blah blah blah. So it's our play really comes to the point where it's after her making this ultimatum. Now she's facing the fact that she may really lose a good man due to her own issues, for whatever they were.
Mhm.
So basically, we're talking about how we're in a relationship. We feel that we're doing everything we're supposed to do as a man and woman in a relationship, and somebody just feels that you just need to do more. It's just, and so that's basically where we are. So Christian Scandalous Affair is talking about Christian Bishop and how there is an affair involved in his relationship, and how if the different things come out, it may destroy different people's lives because they are big time media people or business people in what you were talking about earlier. I don't know if it's on air or not. Talking about how people have a certain persona about a person,
Yeah.
and then when something comes out about them really being this other person, well, it may not only destroy their reputation as far as their family being ostracized, but also mess up their money because the public now is not want to participate in what you're doing because they feel that you're phony.
Right.
You know?
Right. I think, yeah. And I think part of it, I was talking about the whole grocery store thing.
Yeah.
You know, people just, they just have this outlook, that you're untouchable, untangible, whatever you want to call it. And I'm the most, how could I say, down to earth person. And, you know, don't ever feel that way with me. I will talk to you, we'll have a great conversation, and you just realize that I am just as real and down to earth. And yeah, I buy Scott's toilet paper just like you do, and I got bills that are overdue just like you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah, I totally get that.
I've been actually, background about me, I've been acting since 2000. I started out in Landmark Productions working for Carla Morales.
Yes.
On Landmark Productions, I started working with her, and then
Oh, rest in peace.
yes, and I was in a play back to the old Landmark, and then my first starring role was I was in a play when I played Jesus in a play called Wrapped over at Freedom Theater. I say all that.
Remember the Freedom Theater?
Yeah, Freedom Theater. That was my first starting role, and I played Jesus and all did doing my thing. So meanwhile, the following weekend, I'm at my real job, and this woman busted to me like, "Hey, you're Jesus." Yeah, yeah, but Jesus got to do this to eat right now.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
whatever
Jesus
you
got to
gonna do,
live.
yeah, whatever business you gonna do right now, you gotta do that because I walk on water at the time. Right now, what you gotta do? Because I got my boss watching me. She's like, but no, it's not. But I'm just a guy. I'm just
I'm
a
just
guy.
trying to
Yeah.
do what I enjoy.
That
Yeah.
also, it can also interfere in relationships.
Oh yeah.
Well-
And I found that they're looking for diva, and I'm not diva in my relationship. I'm a business person, but no. I want a real down to earth
My-
Well, I have to
relationship.
tell people, like with my
I'm sorry.
adult toy company, I have to tell people like I am not my business. Because you know, people like I have an adult toy company, so that's
they
just a
really-
different type of
yeah,
excitement.
all
I'm
trick.
like, no.
But I've gotten it as an actor. I've gotten that. Well, what you saying is probably not real because you're an actor. She got angry at what I was talking about. So now, I'm a fraud because you're an actor and I know what you can do on. So you're just a liar. It's like, well, so I've gotten that.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
from a person.
Honestly, I even said that in my mind about someone that I used to. I can't even believe, because they were a really good actor. I can't really believe, and I was second guess. Was that cry for real? Because I know they can cry on point. Like,
Right.
you know, was that cry for real? Because I don't know.
Right,
They really
right,
cry
right.
on point. So I don't know. I might need to second guess this. So I can understand what you're saying. But yeah, you know, it does interfere with relationships at times, because you just want somebody, when you're dealing with, you know, someone of the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever, you just want something that's real when you get home. You don't want somebody that's putting you on a pedestal or a platform,
but
or
also
had that expectation of wanting more.
yeah, but also my problem I've done was since I've done three plays where I acted, produced, and directed in since '09. I left Landmark Productions. I was there from 2002 until 2006, and then I started writing and doing my own thing and taking more classes in acting. And my first play was King Saul, and the next one was Digit to Fame, which is kind of like attached to what you guys were talking about earlier, where we have two main characters. They're young, they're like singer rappers, they're from the hood, but superstars in our Nina Rojo and one of the Jesus. Now Nina Rojo, her problem is that she was molested as a child, and she's had trouble dealing with her sexuality as far as being bisexual or whatever. But the main thing about Nina, since she is young, she's always seen as like the little, the cool little sister. So she may get high and do different things, but people kind of like see it as just being Nina being Nina. And the play is called Addicted to Fame because not only dealing with her addiction as far as dealing with sex and drugs, but her thinking that when she becomes famous, all these problems are going to go away. So what happens? So what happens is, to tell the story, what happens is the more money she makes, my character was on Ortiz, playing on Ortiz, the rich and famous mogul entertainment, put it out there in the spiritual world. But anyway, my character really, he covers up a lot of her discretions because she's making money and he wants her to keep a certain image. So what happens is he really is abetting, he's helping her with this bad behavior. So she finally, what comes out is that she finds out no matter how much money she makes, how much fame she has, she's even worse now than she was before because now you got more money to buy the coke and see the girls and see they got more money, more problems.
Right, exactly.
And finally, my third play was you were in the first started, Saved by Grace, and this play was about. I loved her character, which was Michelle. Michelle was the ride or die chick. Her husband had a downfall. He stole some money from family business. And the story starts out with him coming back from jail. But Michelle always held him down. Always held him down. And basically, it's a story talking about how you have a woman that's supportive in your life, accepting that you're trying to do better in what you're doing. But also, our main character, Israel trying to deal with the community looking down on him because he was the golden one. But now everybody's ostracizing him and all these different things. And it's called Saved by Grace because hopefully the Lord will bless us and save us with his grace. And through the exception his wife, which was Michelle, will he help him get through? He is saved and he does find redemption. You know. So basically my plays that I write, including this one, last one, Christian Skinner's Affairs. Now people would call it a Christian play. I don't call myself writing Christian plays. I call them really spiritual. I try to give different storylines and give people something to think about as well as even with Nina Rota's character who's dealing with bisexuality. I don't do anything that's explicit. She talks to her girlfriend on the phone. I really try to write things where you can bring your whole family. Because when my mother was alive and my daughter was younger, I always wanted to do things that my mom and my daughter could come see and hear, and not embarrass them, as well as me trying to deal. I'm gonna say the N-word now, saying all that. Also trying to deal with these niggas that think that when you're explicit with your sex and language, you're keeping it real. No, dude, you limit what you can do. Because the stuff I do, I can take it to a church. I can take it to freaking theater. I can put it on ABC. I can put it on BET. And I'm not limited when you have to cut things out and limit my content, which also destroys my message.
And I, you know what, and that's the conversation that I do have with my actors also. And I try to communicate that with others, is that they have to understand that when you do have explicit language, because sometimes there is explicit language, when you have explicit language in something, there has to be a purpose. And when I say it has to be a purpose, you can't just have people just popping off, you know, MF this and so forth and so on. Like for instance, I posted it on my page the other day. When Eve got mad about her apple juice in barbershop, and somebody drank her apple juice, there was a purpose in her cursing at that point in time. But she only said it one time.
Right.
And that was it. But you know, a lot of times people tend to put curse words constantly throughout because they feel like it makes it juicy or it makes it more entertaining, or people want to be like, ooh, that wow factor. But what it does is it limits, first of all, it limits the viewership. It also does not show that these people have a way of communicating anger, frustration, or emotion without cursing. And it shows a different level of the writer when you have to write curse words with everything in order to get points across, because there's so many different other creative ways of doing it. You could just have somebody put something down real hard on the table, which will just let them know that they're angry or they're frustrated without even the actor even saying anything. There's so many different ways that you can display frustration and anger without having your people curse. You are on with Deeva. You're on with Deeva at Sedor Radio. Yes, you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I truly appreciate it. We getting ready to wrap up though. Thank you. All right. But yeah, it's so many different ways of displaying anger, displaying frustration. Just like, for instance, when you used to watch Good Times, you already knew James was pissed.
James
yeah.
is
Yeah.
When he slammed that door,
But
when those doors
knew
opened,
it was going down.
you knew he was pissed.
But he didn't.
He didn't curse.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Yeah.
same thing, you know, on the Jeffersons, didn't curse. And I know a lot of y'all may not like it, but even on Archie Bunker, when he would give a certain look, you knew that he was pissed. When he would just bend his eyes down and just stare, you knew that he was, you know, and he would stare right into the camera. You knew what he was saying
Mhm.
without him saying anything out of his mouth. And I think so many times writers have gotten away from that type of how could I say that type of communication and trusting the audience
Right.
that they constantly throw out the cuss words in order to get their point across. And with my cast, I often tell them that, you know, if we want to push our project in order to be able to sit anywhere to negotiate any kind of money, we have to, it's not necessarily clean, but we can add it here and there, but we cannot put it where everything has to be filtered and bleeped out, especially on
Right.
television. When I sent that stream over for it to be published on television, I didn't have to worry about bleeping anything out.
Right. And like you said, when you have to do that, it ruins the content.
Yes.
It does. It strongly takes away from the content. And like I said, you can easily just take a bottle and if somebody's in the middle of a conversation, and think about the soap operas that we used to have years ago. I can't even look at them right now anymore. They disturb me when I look at them. But you know, when you think about it, like when Nikki got mad at Victor, she would turn around, she would have her glass, and she just got finished taking a sip because you remember she used to put the
Yes.
pills in her alcohol.
Yeah.
She would turn
Drinking,
around.
Frank.
Right. And
Yeah.
he would say something to her, and she would turn around and she would just stare into the camera, and you knew Nikki was pissed.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, let's try to do some more creative
Clean work.
things.
I just wanted to make a point right there because one of the most horrifying scenes that anybody ever talked about was the stabbing scene that Alfred Hitchcock did
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. What's the name of that movie?
Psycho.
Psycho.
It still scares me
Now,
when I
now,
think about it.
no, but people, if you, it was the point that when they first showed that movie, I saw like a little documentary. You know, Alfred Hitchcock was outside. You heard people scream, ah! But if you really look at the scene, you don't see her actually get stabbed.
No.
You actually don't see any penetration of blood. But really, you hear that music in the
Yes,
shadow,
yes,
and it was just
yes.
horrifying. So I'm just going to piggybacking on your point that one of the most horrifying scenes in cinematic history. Even people don't even know the movie; they know about that scene and stuff.
Mhm.
But really, you don't really see anything.
Right.
Even the actress who played it, she's even scared to take a shower because this where he filmed it was just freaked her out. So all I can say to your point, if to me, I feel that if you're really a great writer and a director, there's a way for you to get your message across without getting gross and putting people off.
Exactly. And I'm gonna piggyback on that, and then we're gonna get out of here. Piggyback on that is that yeah, I work from 9 at night to 5 in the morning, so I do find creative things to do. And one of the things that I do, I love watching the older movies because I learn a lot from watching the older movies. I watch the newer movies too, also for education, but I do learn a lot from old cinemas. And believe it or not, one of the movies that we were watching last night was The Body Snatchers.
Okay.
You didn't see a knife. You didn't see blood. All you saw was these things that looked like pods.
Mhm.
And the pods didn't even look like actually a human could fit in it. And basically, body snatchers was, you know, humans being duplicated or what have you. And like I said, there was no blood, there was no gore, no one killed anybody. It was just basic conversation that, you know, was had with these last two people that was left in this town. And the conversation was, you need to just let this happen. Now, the way that they did it was, I don't know if anybody out there remembers this movie, but the way that they did it was is when you fell asleep, if you fell asleep when you woke up, you were already taken over.
Mhm.
But it was the fear that they had
Yeah,
in
the
them of
suspense.
being the suspense
Yes,
of it and all.
Yeah.
You know, the last two people went running, they had all of this music, they fell down in this dirt, they hid in this cave, like all of this stuff was going on. But back then, as kids, we was terrified
Yes.
of the body snatchers.
Yes.
So I'm going to end on that note, and I'm just saying to everybody out there, you know, all of my writers, filmmakers, producers, playwrights, you know, think of create not just that, you know, think of different and creative ways of delivering your messages. You know, there's so many different avenues that you can take that is more creative than just writing in something. You know, learn by stepping back in time and then move forward in time. Always take the time to invest in your craft. I also want you to make sure that you go on eventbrite.com, register for Hands Off Walk so that you can support Yvette Murphy in her cause. And also, Tanea Temple, make sure that you tune in to her show. And also, she also has her toy treasures.
Yes.
So if you want to book a party, with toy treasures, you never know. I'm just gonna say you never know the name. So,
Right.
so you know what I'm saying? So make sure you could book a party or you could just, get in touch with her, and she's very educated about the different products that they have. And I know what she doesn't know that she'll be able to school you and push you to the young lady that she was talking about that can
Yes.
educate you. And make sure that you follow Omar Ortiz. He's also a friend on my page. He's a writer, director, and producer, and he
Yeah,
has
I do a little bit of acting also.
he okay, and he do
Well,
some.
well, right now I'm doing cameos in my plays. I gotta do my little, fill my face in there for these 10
He is an actor as well. So make sure that you befriend him also on Facebook and stay tuned to our page. Listen, I have a YouTube page as well as SadorRadio.com. So I want y'all to make sure that you check out DEU Productions LLC on YouTube because you'll be able to check this out and you'll be able to tune in and review it and check it out whenever you want to. Refer it to a friend or somebody and subscribe. Like I need to see y'all subscribe. Black people, we need to subscribe to stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And check out my page, Diva Entertainment Unlimited Productions on Facebook, Diva Gordon, DEEVA. Also Instagram, DEU_Productions LLC. Twitter, we go, oh my gosh, I'm going on and on. Twitter is diva_director. Make sure you check us out and our web page, DEU Productions LLC. Make sure you stay tuned. We have Witness Stage Film Production, which is going up in August every Saturday at 2 p.m. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. Listen, demand it, DVR it, check it out. I'm going to be posting it all on my page. Make sure that you stay tuned because I'm going to be posting for August the auditions for the film Witness. And I'm just going to tell y'all that this is going to be a phenomenal production. I'm taking my time with this one to make sure that I cross all my T's, dot all my I's. I got 5 nominations in the Philadelphia Independent Film Awards for Have You Seen Her? And there's some other things that are going on with Have You Seen Her? I'll be coming with prayerfully a big announcement on that soon. So I want to, every time you do something, you should graduate. You know what I'm saying? So from Have You Seen Her? 5 nominations, I'm trying to win with Witness. May still be winning with Have You Seen Her? Waiting to hear about that. But, it's not always about winning. It's about content, not necessarily competition. But a win for me is not winning over a fellow filmmaker. It's not winning over someone else that's doing what I'm doing. A win for me, when I win something at a film festival, means that there was enough people in that room that liked the content that I put up on the screen. So understand what a win for your film should mean. A win for your film should mean that the people that were in that room that were judging what you produced was really liked. Don't look at it as you're winning over someone. So I'm going to say shout out to the writer and director and producer Rico Salam. I believe it's Rico Salam. He's the writer and producer of Blood Brothers. I've been trying to get him on my show. We were both up for the same award for Best Picture, and he won. And I'm trying to get him on the show, but it's been some time differences. So I'm just going to say, take the time to shout out, people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. It's not a competition. It's about putting out content that people can gravitate towards and they can learn something from and do something with. Understand that, your constituents are not your competition. All right. And you can learn something from everyone that's in this business. All right. So this is Diva Gordon from DEU. And hopefully you enjoyed the show and hopefully you'll be tuning back in with us July the 25th. I'm going to have some phenomenal women in the industry on the show, and they're going to be giving you their information. I have Yakisha Walker from The Real Lives of Philadelphia. I have Karen Walker Martin, The Road to the Truth. I have Sharon battle, also the road to the truth. I have so many people that's going to be coming on this show, and it's not just going to be filmmakers. And forgive me if I didn't shout you out. I love you, and I'll see you on the 25th. But it's so many people that I want to bring on the show. I wish I had my show every day because there's so many
Yeah.
people that need shout outs and so many people that need support and so many people that need an opportunity to be on the platform. So if you're not up yet, just trust and believe that you will be coming up soon. All right. This is Diva Gordon from DEU. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'll see y'all on the other side.
Very good, Diva, very good.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, that was
Yeah.
great, great show.
Thank you. I was going to put on the show before I got this off. While we get ourselves together.
Good. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you. You
welcome.
should have done that a half hour ago. You get
No,
on my
I
nerves
gotta
and
have
ear,
one. I
man.
gotta
That-
have my ear
Oh,
on.
no, you don't. No, you
Ryan
don't.
does a crazy job.
I don't even want to talk about it because I still listen. I
This
respect
3 to 11 is
Me
killing me.
too, and I'm
Listen,
so
I gotta,
tired.
we should, you nighttime
I
too.
can't do that 3 to 11.
Ooh,
I can't do
baby.
or 4 to 12. It's either
I
overnight
do
or
11 to
day.
7. And you know what? It's so crazy because I get limited sleep at home and I get all my sleep at work. I'm at the desk and I'm like this. The bell off. Hi, how can I help you? I'll let you nurse now. And
See, I do that every now and
typing.
then. But I do that every now and then, but it's kind of hard at the police station.
I
Ooh,
sleep
yeah.
every shift. I sleep every single
I'll be like
shift.
this. I'll be in the chair just like this. And my corporal, see what this monitor is?
Uh-huh.
He be sitting right there. And I'll get my chair and I'll be like,